Hey guys, and welcome back to the Air Shootist channel, where today we're going to go ahead and take a look at this Macavity Arms MA2. This is one of the new kids on the block in terms of the air rifle market, and this one is actually a 30 caliber. It is the long version, and it is a budget air rifle coming in at right around $450 retail price. So for those budget shooters or people just trying to get into the sport, this could be potentially an option for them, and it does come with a lot of stuff. So this particular one is a pre-production model, so there's going to be some differences in the actual production model, which are going to be really nice things to have. So I'll go over those later. But for now, let's go ahead and show you what it comes with in the box. And this is going to be very similar to what you get with the production model. So let's check that out first.
All right. Ooh, nicely packaged. What do we got here? So, of course, the manual looks pretty nice. Suppressor. Oh my, it's actually aluminum. I thought it would be plastic. Very cool. We've got the gun itself, 3 mags. Let's take a look at these magazines. Those are cool. Okay, nice. And every gun should come with 2 or 3 mags. Come on, rest of the industry, get it together. Macavity's doing it right for sure right there. We've got a buffer tube and like a SOP mod style stock. Ooh, look at that. It's got a QD sling port in it. You've got, from watching other reviews, I know that this is a buffer tube tool, or you could just use the one for your AR-15 that you have lying around. What's this? Ah, O-ring kit. Huh, not a terrible amount of O-rings. Probably a pretty simple gun, indicated by that. Very nice. Okay. And now for the gun itself. This is hard to do with one hand, you guys, but I do it for you. Alright, so we got the gun itself. Looking pretty nice. Oh, they left a little air in it for me. Not bad. And alright, so that's what you get in the box. Pretty cool. So I'll assemble this thing, and then we'll get to shooting it, which is the good part. So stay tuned.
Alright, now that you saw what was in the box, we'll go ahead, and I've got targets set out at 50, 75, and 100 yards. And I'm shooting the FX 44.75 grain pellets. I'm not going to sort them. I'm going to pull them right out of the tin. We're going to load them into the magazines and send them. So let's take a look at how this thing does at various yardages, and I'll show you how I have it set up. I've pulled my bench rest outside just to show you guys how I have this thing set up. So we'll start from the tip here. It does come with its own factory moderator, which is very nice of them to include, but it's just a hollow tube, so at least you get something, but it's still kind of loud. And this is a big 30 cal pushing a lot of power. So I've got a Donnie FL Sumo on there. You've got your gauge up front. This gun will fill to 250 bar. And then really nice, you have even a branded fill nipple cap here. And it just goes right around the fill nipple there. So very easy to fill. I like that. The gun does have a Picatinny rail under there if you want to mount a bipod. And cool thing about this gun is it actually has a pin probe rather than a standard pellet probe. I've got this thing set up with it's not on the market yet, but this is the Orc Air Black Label scope that I've been working with them on. It's super awesome. 34 millimeter plays pretty well with the side shot scope cam, so I'm going to use that today. The gun has a safety that's right on the trigger. It's just a cross bolt safety. So if I click it like that, it's safe. If I click it like that, it is ready to fire. And it also has a SOP mod stock on it and a AR-15 ergo grip. So if you're familiar with the AR-15 furniture, a SOP mod stock is pretty cool because it has these battery holders in it. I don't know if you can see there, but this is pretty easy to take off. So I'm just going to go ahead, slide this thing back, pull down on this, and I can take my stock off. And you can see the battery holders there. And the cool thing about those, nice little storage spot. You do have to take the stock off, but if you rotate it like that and pull it out, you've got your storage space. And the thing about mine is that I've got them full of jelly beans. Tactical snacktical. Anyway, let's get this thing on the bench and we'll do some shooting.
All right, so this brings us to the actual shooting portion of the video. Now I have 24 rounds of the FX 44.8 grain loaded up. These magazines are pretty cool to load, so you don't need to preload them or anything. Just simply drop a pellet in, rotate it, drop a pellet in, rotate it, drop a pellet in. So they're quick loading and not bad. Pretty good design. And I heard that metal magazines will be available. I don't know if they'll come on the production model or not, but that's sort of what you got. This thing with its 267cc air reservoir boasts 24 shots from the factory. It's a little cold out, and I'm seeing more like 20 shots, which is still acceptable. So we'll try to get through 3 mags, and what I'll do is I'll shoot 3 4-round groups at the targets, and then we'll go out on the second half of that second mag to 75, and then we'll shoot 4 at 100. And if I have enough juice to shoot more, we will. Otherwise, I'll fill up and we'll shoot the last 4 shots. I've got the FX True Ballistics chronograph here, which is an amazing piece of kit. And you can actually, with the new firmware update, we can store all the shot strings right in the device, so don't even need to connect a phone to it. So we'll use that to measure what we're doing in terms of performance. And yeah, let's go ahead and shoot 50 yards first. All right, I'll just pick a target here. You know, let's go here. All right, 861 over the chronograph. Okay, that's looking pretty good for a 4-shot group. So let's go down a target. We'll do, and that one looks like it's got a 22 hit down there, but we'll ignore that and shoot another group. Okay. And how about we, you know what, let's just keep going down the row here. We'll go to this target right here, shoot another 4. Oops, that's going to be all for the 8-round magazine. And just as a little status check, I'm right at about 3,000 psi, so that went down about 650 psi. Did all 3 of those go through the same hole? Not sure. Yeah, looks like all of those went in the same hole. Looked like it wandered a little bit off to the right there, so kind of interesting. Okay, so that's going to be at 50 yards. Still have about 2,800 psi, and we'll go ahead and shoot the 75. And Straylock is telling me like 1.8, so we'll just try to hold 2 right in the middle there, and let's shoot 4 shots at that thing. Okay, pretty respectable at 75. Now, I think I should have enough for 4 more high power shots at 100. And Straylock's telling me a 4 milliradian holdover, so we'll again hold that right in the middle there. Not bad. Okay, so that's your 4-round group at 100. Not too bad. And let's see, I think I have 4 more rounds left. Let's do a little reg check. All right, so I'm right about off the reg, and this gun's shooting right at about 860 or so FPS in this 55-degree weather with the 44.8s. So let's just go ahead and we'll take the last 4 shots at 100 and see when we fall off the reg here. Okay, that was way low, so I think we're off. See that at the bottom right corner? Yeah, could be just a flyer. Those are pretty good at 100 yards, man. Now it's going down though, 845. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. And we came down to 833 feet per second. Let's take a look at our shot string. So that was the total of 24 shots. High was 861 FPS, low was 833, and the average was 855. Standard deviation, even when falling off the reg, 5.59, not too bad. So let's go into the shots themselves, and we'll go all the way. Let's start at the top here. All right, so we started out right at about 861, and then you can see we stayed pretty consistent. That reg, I've noticed in these guns, is very consistent. So wow, that's pretty impressive for a non-production model, and B, a $450 gun. And looks like right at about somewhere right here we fell off for like the last 3 shots, and I was still able to hit in a pretty good group at 100 yards with that. So pretty consistent gun, not so bad. I'm a little impressed with the $450 price point and the performance that this thing is spitting out. We'll go ahead and run out there and take a look at these targets now. Walking up to the 50-yard target here. Wow, so that one put them all 4 in the same hole. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll do the typical thumb, and then that's 4 right there. So this one, it was at 50 yards, not so bad. And let's go out there and take a look at the 75-yard. All right, there's 75 yards, not so bad. A little bit of wind out here, and we'll walk out to the 100 yards. And that is 100 yards. I don't know what happened there. I'm hoping I didn't just stupidly hold 2 instead of 4. But that's the accuracy at 100 yards even when falling off the reg. So not so bad for a $450 gun. I mean, that's easily hunting out to 100 yards for pretty small critters like squirrels and stuff. And since it's a 30 cal, you could take larger prey like headshots on coyotes and stuff too. So anyway, we'll go wrap up my final thoughts about this thing and end it there for you guys. All right, let's wrap this up with some final thoughts on this thing. So this is a $450-ish gun, and you saw the performance at 50, 75, and 100 yards. Not so bad. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is a pre-production model, so on the production model, you're going to have some more features. You're going to have a reg gauge somewhere to show you what your reg pressure's at, which is awesome. You're going to have adjustable hammer on this. Now, this one, it looks like the hammer might be adjustable, but it's under the stock, so there's no external way to adjust it. Let me roll some footage of what it looks like when I took it apart, just so you guys know what this one has. And of course, we'll see some updates on the production model, but here's what this one has. Okay, I took the stock off, and it does appear that I could adjust the hammer with this gun, but you have to take the stock off to do it. So not sure how that'll be different on the production model, but that's what it is. It's got a trigger pack that's like one piece on there, kind of clever. And on the bottom there, one of those holes, the front small one, I believe, is the vent, so you can vent the gun that way. But just thought I'd give you guys a little glimpse of kind of what's inside, because if you're like me, you would wonder about this. All right, so typical, looking like a hammer adjuster under there. Hopefully we see a wheel or something on the production model, don't know. But let's see, what else didn't I touch on? The gun has a 267cc air reservoir, 250 bar on the long versions. The short versions have, I think it's a 197cc, and this one in 30 cal has a 1 in 22 twist rate. What else? I think the production model is going to have a 1-inch longer barrel than this thing as well. So keep your eyes out and look on their website, because they've got a big sprawling list of all of the features for these guns.
broken down by caliber. These are of course available in 22, 25, and 30, and they've got a list of features for each one, but pretty decent. It's got a tension barrel, so I mean, if you're just somebody looking to get into the sport or looking to do some hunting and you don't want to spend a fortune on a very high-end gun, you know, your FX, RTI, things like that, you want to go a little bit cheaper, this could be an option. And you guys saw those groups that I threw out at 50, 75, and 100. I mean, that's dead squirrel all day at 100 yards. And being that this one's a 30, you could even hunt coyotes with this, so not so bad. And this is the first budget sort of gun we've ever done a review on the channel. I was a little hesitant to get into budget stuff, but you know what, I'm glad I did. Thank you, Macavity, for sending this out to check out. I hope you guys send me a production model. I'd be happy to do some more coverage on that one as well and see what's changed on it. But overall, I think for 450 bucks, you are not doing too bad with one of these things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the little sneak peek here at the new kid on the block, and stay tuned for more videos, man. Peace.